Everyone, welcome to the show. Welcome to Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. I'm your boy Reek, and of course, I got none other than Huge Pop next to me. And we just want to welcome Nikki D and B
Hey,
Money Bryson.
Big Money Bryson, the
So,
Cowboy,
guys, man,
the
let's
Cowboy
just throw it
fan.
all out there. We're gonna talk about this Royal Rumble on Saturday, man. Who, Nikki
All
D?
right.
I'm gonna let you start with that one. We're gonna start with the women's. We're gonna go in order. Let's start with the women's.
Okay. Um, Entertaining. It had its moments. I really enjoyed the Ladies Rumble. There was a couple surprises, and I'll say that they got it right. This is one where they got it right, in my opinion. The right person won. Yeah,
No
Bailey.
arguments here.
Yeah. I was so happy. I was so happy to see that. So yeah, I was thoroughly entertained by the Ladies Rumble. Yeah, there were so many cool moments. Jade Cargill, good Lord, man, picking up Nia Jax, I'm thinking, yeah, I'll work this in there, whatever, just to pick her up like that. And then what blew my mind too, as I was watching it, I looked over at my daughter and I was like, she picked her up with one arm. She didn't even use the other arm. She just put one arm under her and just power lifted her up. I was like, good Lord. And yeah, I could go on and on about that. Yeah. I'm just gonna say
Did you
it was.
notice how when she threw her out, she actually Nia kind of messed up to where she was supposed to kind of give her that lift.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
Jade lifted her herself. I was so Jade.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I
That
was
was
like,
my number one
dang.
pick to win, but hey, my backup was Bailey. I'm not arguing with it. She did great. She deserves it.
there were a couple of those spots that that Nikki D was talking about where, Nia Jax forgot how to go over the rope. It seemed like, and it's like, and then
Yeah.
Piper Nevin, she did the same thing. I'm like, she nowhere's around and she threw herself over the
Threw
rope.
herself over.
I'm like, what
I
are
saw
you
that
doing?
too.
That
And the
looks so
camera
bad.
was, yeah.
It looks
And the
so
camera
bad.
was
I was
right
like,
there.
that is not right, but I will
Yeah.
say this, entertainment wise, that's probably one of the top two matches of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise wise, I love that they're bringing TNA people in.
Yes.
I think that's great. We were talking to come on, Rico, what's his name? I was like Caprice Coleman.
Yes.
From ROH commentator last night on the podcast, and he was saying that he likes what TNA is doing with WWE, similar with what ROH is doing with AEW. So,
Yep.
but Cargill was a beast. She
Oh
is
yeah.
ripped to crap, and but I got Bailey was my girl, and I think I will say this: I was happy to not see Charlotte Flair. How about that? I was happy to not see that woman out there. I really was, and it made my day. But no, the right person won, and I think there was a lot of great action, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Oh man, when we talking about TNA, Jordan Grace.
Yes.
I mean, you talk about a beast. That woman.
She is.
Wow.
I never paid attention, but when I was like, gosh, dang, man, and is talented too. Just so I was very impressed. I was very impressed with her.
My favorite thing is when I heard Corey Graves. He's telling Michael Cole, she's got muscles where you didn't even know muscles existed.
Yeah.
And she had a decent showing.
Oh man, that girl. So Bryson, man, what's your take on the women's?
I agree with the Huge Pop. The right woman won. She did that. I think you already seen the seeds of Damage Control. Splitting up, and I think that just put the final nail on that coffin. And especially what happened on Monday, but we'll get to into that later.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of hurt that my girl Sasha didn't come. That she didn't show up. Maybe they're saving it for the night after Mania because that's probably a bigger pop. But
the Raw after WrestleMania.
And honestly, this might be I don't know. This might be a hot take. But I was kind of glad Becky got eliminated too.
Yeah.
I was just like Becky. She's just like she's kind of like Charlotte. Like she's always just she's good. Don't get me wrong, but she's always just shoved in our faces. Like let some of these other
You
girls
want
go.
someone else to kind of take the reins now, and let's see
Yes.
how they do.
Girl who I think is going to be very, very good for a long time is number 29, Tiffany Stratton. I think she is just she's behind Cargill and Bianca. I think she's probably the most athletic women's wrestler on the roster. That's just my opinion. She's going to be very good for a very long time.
No, I was even telling Lena, I said, man, that girl has like progressed and she is just awesome.
Yeah,
You can just watch her get better every single time.
Yeah.
But no, the women's was very good.
But my problem with that, did any of you guys have an issue with how Naomi was? I felt like she was kind of done dirty in that match. She just was. I know she was in there for a while, but she had like almost no offense whatsoever. Anytime you saw her, she was just getting the crap kicked out of her.
Yeah.
She had like maybe a spot here and a spot there. She was not like she usually was. She was highlighted during matches. She's a stupid good worker, good, but she was just kind of like there. And so that kind of bothered me. I felt that was the one thing I kept telling my wife. I'm like, she's just there. Like you barely can notice her. She's just there, and that bothered me because she's very talented. I don't know if that was like punishment, maybe. Yeah. It might have been punishment, which would be why Sasha said, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
I'll wait.
I think it would have like her cause would have been helped if she wasn't number 2. I see bringing her back because she is talented, but bring her in at number 2. I think that kind of hurt her, like the offensive cause, because she was in there with the second longest behind Bailey. Bring her in at like number 8 or 9. Let her get some offense, and then if obviously wasn't going to win, let her stay in there for 50 minutes, get some offense in, then get eliminated.
Or just moments. Moments. I know we're not to the guys yet, okay? I know we're not there. But think of the first 2 that came out in the men's rumble. Yeah. They still had moments. Like you can remember little spots with Jimmy. Like remember he kept trying to team up with people and it would backfire on him. And he'd be like, "What?" And he'd be upset. Like those are moments that you remember. She had nothing. She had nothing. She was just there.
You talk about moments, right? And that women's on Royal Rumble, we're missing one moment that, if I'm Naomi, I'm a little bit upset about this, but we missed a huge pop moment when R-Truth came down to try to get himself into female.
I was just going to bring that up.
Come on now. Our boy R-Truth. I mean,
Oh my God.
He's like, time out. Where the guys at?
Where are the guys?
But he's gold, man. He's just, oh my gosh, he's so good.
Yeah.
He's just so good.
But like, he's hilarious. I mean, he's fun. But a lot of people, we don't, but he's actually a very, very good wrestler. He is like,
yes, he is.
He is too. He's a very, very good wrestler.
Right.
Yep.
I wish they kind of like, let him do the comedy stuff, but also, let him wrestle, like let him be serious too. Like let him show his craft.
Show what he can do.
Yeah.
So
not
what
a
you
fan
guys
of
think
him, but
about Liv Morgan coming back?
Yes.
What's that?
What'd you think about Liv Morgan coming back?
My heart
was
happy.
Surprised. I was surprised, but I also was like, because wasn't she 30?
Yeah, she's number 30. Yeah.
30.
Yeah. So I was kind of deflated because I wanted that to be Sasha. So when I saw it was Liv, I was like, yeah, it's cool she's back. I wanted it to be Sasha. When it wasn't, I was like, dang it. Freaking Liv Morgan. Like,
I agree with that. I agree with you, Nikki D, because even if it could have been Jade Cargill as number 30, it would have been a bigger pop than bring back.
Yeah.
Or there's several names that you could name that could have been bigger than Liv Morgan.
That to me that where they placed her wasn't I didn't like that. It was kind of like when they had Ray come out number 30, and everybody wanted Daniel Bryan. And it was like Daniel Bryan's not in the Royal Rumble, but they kept hoping against hope. And then when Ray came out, he got all that heat, even though it's Ray. He's a babyface, but he got all that heat because they gave him the 30th spot, and everybody was so amped up to see who was last. That's how I felt about her. Like, it's cool that she was back, yay, but I wanted a shock. I wanted like surprise or something to come out number 30 and for you to go, oh my gosh.
You wanted that number 30, your jaw just dropped, and you're like, what?
Like, oh boy,
really?
Yeah. So, but it was good. There were a lot of cool things. Who was it that was almost eliminated and grabbed Bianca's braid?
Stratton.
That was Tiffany. And held on for dear life, and her hair was just pulled all the way back. There was like cool moments like that they were pretty crazy. They were good. Oh, the stare down where you had Jade and Bianca. I was like, oh yeah.
If that's not a WrestleMania match, I will be pissed. I won't watch. Man,
yeah.
I won't watch it.
For sure. You could just see it too, and everybody popped, and I was like, I like this. And yeah.
It was almost like the Andre the Giant Hulk Hogan stare down, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Two massive people in the women's division, like boom. I'm like,
yeah,
damn, you know. I
was pretty pumped.
I watched a TikTok before the Royal Rumble, and I seen they had Hogan and Andre and do that stare down. So I was like, that's pretty close to what that is. And I was like, but no, you're right, Bryson. If they don't make that a WrestleMania match, then WWE's missing the boat somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're missing out on a huge opportunity right there.
Yeah. I saw something. I can't remember if it was on Twitter, Bleacher Report, whatever. But they talked about making them a tag team. No. Maybe down the road.
Yeah, there's no reason for that.
But
yeah,
the seed was already planted at the Rumble. Make them fight each other. Make them fight each other.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I said, I mean, we'll get to the guys, but I do believe, and I think you guys do too, where the women's Royal Rumble match was better than the men's.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely agree. When it got down to the nitty gritty, when you were looking at the final 5 in there, the final 6, the final 4, whatever, I just thought this could go any way, any direction, and it wouldn't suck. Like, it wouldn't suck. It would make sense. You couldn't say that about what was happening in the guys. I'm sorry. You kind of got, okay, well, if this person doesn't go over, then it's going to be dumb. Just period. So with the ladies, they did a really good job of setting that up at the end there. So yeah, it was better than the guys.
Oh yeah, most definitely was. And I know we were messaging with each other. I didn't really like how you put the Roman Reigns title match before Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. I didn't understand that at all because that's all. Roman's always been a main event guy. Always. We understand that the men's Royal Rumble is going to be main event.
Mm-hmm.
But why you have him the second match?
No.
That kind of bothered me.
It never used to be that way. I mean, the championship carries luster. The person carrying the title is the one who, like, that's your draw. So yeah, it should have been. Gosh, they used to have them. Well, no, the Rumbles were always. Before they had the singles matches, it used to just be the Rumble because you had a longer wait between people coming out. I remember that. But when they started putting matches on there and stuff, you would always have the bigger match just before the Royal Rumble. So that was odd. It was odd.
Look you had Roman, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, LA Knight.
Yes.
That's not a match you put second.
No.
To be honest, that match, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, right? I didn't think that match was very well done at all. It was the same. It was typical Roman Reigns, cock the fist, spirit, whatever. You see it all the time. They got each of them got their pops and they got their moves in. I think LA Knight stunned every single one of them, and then it was Randy Orton that did his
RKO.
RKO. Then it was the fist. It was like, come on, guys. I just don't think it was well done, and I agree with you, Nikki D. Why would you, or Rico? Why would you put that second? It was almost like it was a fill-in.
And
yeah. For that match, it was just, and and there were some people who were, I don't know, doing more in that match than others were. Like, gosh, Randy Orton's been doing this for 300 years, and he's not taking it easy. That's what bothers me. It's like, I know he had time off, so yeah, he's just getting back into it and stuff, so he's a little more fresh. Yeah. But it just bothers me when I see somebody, like, I felt like Roman took it easy, just chill, just out there, like, doing whatever. I'm just gonna do my thing, and it was kind of lazy, and that bugged me. And AJ was working his butt off. I know, and LA Knight is more. He's more like, he reminds me in a sense like The Rock. He doesn't have like an arsenal of moves, but he's got the character and he's got all that stuff, so you're into it. Yeah. Where you have like Randy and AJ are loaded with moves, so they just were just killing it. Like, and then Roman was just, I don't know, like, I didn't hate the match. I didn't hate it, but
I agree with you guys. I didn't think it was a spectacular match like we I guess everybody built it up to be because of who's all in it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of a mediocre, like, okay, that was decent, but just like you said, a filler in match almost. And a world title match should not feel like that at all.
And that ending was
horrible.
Thank you.
It sucked. It was the typical, here's Solo Sikoa with the hood on, and we're going to do that.
We don't. Yeah, nobody knows who that is.
No one can see that coming.
Why wear the hood?
Ref gets pulled out of the ring. Oh no, what just happened?
Yeah, it's.
But I said it in our group that we were messaging back and forth. I think that planted the seed of Roman versus Orton at the Chamber, because Solo cost him, and so Randy didn't really, per se lose the match, and I don't think LA Knight did either. And I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I feel like they just put AJ in there to, a couple moves, but ultimately, take the fall, because he doesn't really have as much, momentum as LA Knight and Orton does right now. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but like, LA Knight could be in a match with Rollins or Gunther or Logan Paul for the title, and Orton could fight, Roman or at the Chamber or whatever. But AJ Styles doesn't really, have a case to be in the main event. He should be on the WrestleMania card,
which is sad because he's so unbelievably good.
Yeah. I think he's the best wrestler in WWE.
Yeah, he's so good, and it's just like, what you got to do? What are they going to do with him? They got to do something with him. And he looked great too, man. He took me back to the days he was in TNA. Like, he was in great shape, the best shape he's been in years.
Yes.
And that's what I said in there too. I was like, gosh, when you look at the people in there, and I can't really dog Roman. Like, I was going to say something, and about how he was moving and all that stuff, and then I looked at my wife, and I was like, you know what? He did have to fight leukemia twice. So I need to be careful. You know what I mean? It's not like he's had it easy or whatever, but yeah.
Well, speaking on that, maybe you guys can clarify this for me, because just like reading on stuff about Roman, the reason why you don't see him on TV so much is he actually has to go back and do some treatments to make sure.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't see him.
I think I mentioned that on a couple of podcasts ago. I think it's not like it was like a rumor or something. I don't know if it was like 100% true, but after reading it, it makes sense. It makes sense.
I mean, it would make.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the Brock Lesnar and the Cena and the Rock. So no matter if he works an Undertaker, no matter if he works one day a year or 300 days a year, he's going to get a pop no matter when he comes back or when he works. So
Mhm.
it's not like he needs to be, in front of our faces all the time now for us to
Mhm.
remember. Like, oh yeah, Roman's back. I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like we were talking about AJ Styles, I really feel, personal opinion, AJ's great. Why don't we have just a thought, WWE, AJ versus Seth at WrestleMania since CM Punk is hurt? LA Knight goes
LA
against
Knight.
Gunther, and then you have Cody going against Roman.
No. Me and my buddy that he's also a huge fan of wrestling. We were talking since Punk is hurt. We said, since Cody's going to go after Roman, obviously, if they book Cody versus Seth, that's horrible. We don't need that.
We've already
If they
seen
do that, you know
Yeah.
why they did it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rhodes is
yeah, we've already seen it.
3-0 against him. He's 3-0.
Yeah, we've already seen it 3 times.
Yeah.
Classic matches.
Yeah.
Classic matches.
Yes.
But we don't need to see it again. You know what I mean? Like, it was not that long ago. So no, yeah.
But unfortunately, I think you're going to see it. They're building it. They're building that. If you watched last night,
yeah,
they
I
started
don't know
to
if
build
you
it.
caught Raw, Nikki D, but
They started to build it. They had Cody
started to do it,
Rhodes come down and talk to Seth, and Seth is like, "Why do you want to go after that part-time belt? Why don't you want to go after one that's all the time?"
He tugged at Cody's heartstring. He said, "Do you want to go after the paper? I can't remember what he said, the paper belt or whatever, or do you want to go after the Dusty Rhodes Championship?" Like,
Ooh.
Man.
Yeah, and you know why? I maybe I'm wrong, but Cody, Seth, Roman, Rock.
But where would that happen then?
Night 2 of WrestleMania. Roman and Rock.
Maybe. I guess they could do that, but that's weird. You need to build that. Like, it's something that would have to be built.
Well, they got a couple months to build it, and everybody wants it.
But I don't see him taking the belt off Roman. Like, he magically cleared his schedule for a 2-year run with Cena. Magically. The guy's the busiest guy on the planet. And he was able to clear, that to have that 2-year run where he had the feud where he went over and beat Cena, and then they built it up for the next one. Where is he going to get the time? Look, the dude has his hands in everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's so busy.
We don't know. Lately they've been being smart about it, throwing us little twisters and curves and just making us believe what's going to happen, but it doesn't happen.
True, exactly. And I don't see him ending the reign. I don't see him ending the reign because then he would have to stay.
And I don't think. Go ahead.
I think if you have, this is my personal opinion, if you have Rock versus Reigns, yes, that's obviously going to be a huge match and it's going to be the main event. But Roman doesn't need to have the belt. It just needs to be for the tribal combat, for the head of the table, and that Rock put Roman over. Like, Roman needs to even be put over. But if my thing, just long story short, it doesn't need to be for the belt. Because Nikki D said, we complain about Roman not showing up all the time. What do you think would happen if Rock was the champ?
He wouldn't be there. That's what I mean. He doesn't have the time.
One time every 3 months, maybe.
The thing is, I think what they're doing, really, guys, is they'll put Cody and Seth so Cody can take that belt, okay? Because Seth is hurt. Let's face it, he'll get that belt, and they're not good. WWE wants, whether we want to believe it or not, WWE wants Roman Reigns to beat Hulk Hogan's record, and that's not WrestleMania. That's past WrestleMania. That's September of 2024. So they're not gonna. It'd blow me away if they put Cody in that and beat Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's even past SummerSlam.
Yeah,
that is past SummerSlam. So you think they want him to beat Hogan's record?
Absolutely.
It's just Hogan and Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah.
Bob Backlund ahead of, or did he pass Bob Backlund?
I think he passed Bob. He's number 3.
Passed Bob.
I think he's 3rd right now.
So there's 2 ahead of him.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're not going to go this far to stop at Bob Backlund. That's crazy. Who cares about? I mean, let's be honest. You want to break Bob's record? Or you want to beat Hogan's record?
I'm beating Hogan's record.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It's just I don't.
but
see
it's the
that.
WWE. We don't know what's going. Wait,
That right. I mean,
we don't know what's going to happen.
yep.
Yeah, but I just don't know how they're going to stretch it out for that long.
Because they're going to have a tribal. They're going to have the bloodline. Somehow that story's going to go crazy with The Rock and Solo, and all these people are going to turn on Roman and come after SummerSlam or at SummerSlam or whatever that date is. Roman's going to be left alone, even without Paul Heyman. Left alone, and he's going to lose.
Oh, dang. Even without Paul Heyman.
Done.
Without Paul.
Yeah.
He's going to, yes. I just have a feeling and I bet you it's going to be Survivor Series, and he's out.
Okay, I had to double check this and correct because we were talking about titles and stuff. He passed Pedro Morales.
Okay.
He just passed Bruno Sammartino because right now Roman's at what was it? I was just looking at 1,248 days, and Bruno was at 1,237.
Where's Hogan?
Hogan is at 1,474.
There you go. That's not very far off.
Nope, not at
that
all.
Puts you in September.
So Hogan's the only one in front of him now.
No, you got Bob Backlund is 2,135 days.
I knew Bob Backlund was up there. I knew Bob Backlund was up there somewhere, man. He held it forever.
Well,
he didn't lose it. Yeah, because Bob Backlund dropped it to the Iron Sheik after he had it forever, and then Hogan took it off the Iron Sheik.
Then you have the number one is Bruno Sammartino.
What's he at?
2,803.
There's not. That is unforeseeable.
Nobody's breaking that.
Nobody's going to touch.
That would be rude on WWE's part to take that off a legend like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I do see him passing Hulk Hogan.
And that's where I can understand, having him pass Bruno's number 3 spot because he's number 1 already. So, it's okay to have him pass his number 3.
Yeah, it was because Bruno's on that list twice.
Mm-hmm.
That's crap. That's ridiculous.
And that dude did, but that was back when they didn't take all that time off either. Like, Bruno worked. So,
we'll just.
I just don't know how they do it. I don't know. I mean, I guess. How do you keep it going without it getting stagnant?
Well, and I was gonna say, I guess for us, we've been so used to where you may see a champion for the most a year, and that's it. We get a new champion, and it's always fresh. So we're kind of just not used to it. We're like, what's going on? Can we get a new champion?
No, I'm for the long title reigns as long as they're entertaining, as long as they make sense. Like Gunther, like, dude, there's nobody bored when he comes out. There's nobody bored when he has a match. Everything he's doing is working. That's why he has the belt. Mm-hmm. He does everything right. And I'm not saying Roman is just like everything with the bloodline, like peaked. It absolutely, like, everything was great. And then when you saw the stuff with Sammy and then that build up for him and, Kevin Owens and all that stuff, and they won the tag titles and everything. It was just like, it was the biggest thing that there was. And people were tuning in just to see that.
Yep.
I just wonder how you keep the magic going,
So it's going to be hard to keep that momentum, I believe, to pass Hulk Hogan without it getting so stale, like you were saying, because it's not lost. It's just it's not as much as it was.
No, it's not as much as it was. You build up a huge, because now it's like he's toppled. He's just, you stacked him up and he's knocked him down, man. He's that dude. So it's just getting to where, okay, well, who are you going to put in front of him that he hasn't already beat? Who are you going to put in front of him that he hasn't already fought? Unless it's something like The Rock, and then they can build on that, and then that can grow, and that'll get everybody interested.
I know it won't happen, but I would somehow love to see Roman versus Gunther. I would love to see that match.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That would be,
oh yeah.
That would be a very good match.
Like Big E said, like big meaty men slapping meat. That would be just.
Dude, he's so physical, man. Like he is so physical. He oh man. Like you see his match, it's like, holy crap, dude, let's go.
I think I really don't understand. I don't know how all those guys can just take his chops, because like that's just
You see the aftermath, you're just like,
yeah.
oof.
I thought Big Show.
And you could hear it too. You could hear it. I'm like, ooh, man.
I thought Big Show had the worst chop, like the worst chop, but I think I might give it to Gunther because his is.
I don't know, man. I'd still go with Big Show's, just because Big Show's hand would cover your face.
Gunther,
but Gunther throws it at different angles.
Yeah.
Gunther's this. Gunther goes like this. He'll go like this. Like he hits you, and it's loud, and it hurts because you see their chest afterwards. Like, yeah, he just hits you from all different angles.
Yeah.
And a guest on him about a week ago that we're talking about chops, and he said he'd rather take a chop from a guy like the Big Show compared to a guy like Gunther, because the hand and it stings so much because it's like bam, the bigger dude, it's like
the sound just makes it seem like it hurts.
The sound makes it seem like it hurts more, but maybe it's not as bad. Yeah, that could be it too.
All right, well, enough about chops, man. Let's talk about this KO and Logan Paul.
Man,
I'm a Bryson. I'll let you take that one, man. I don't even.
I was so like Logan. I mean, Logan Paul does his job. He just makes you like just absolutely despise him. He does a great job at that. He's actually very talented, but Kevin Owens he's too good not to have at least have a belt or be in a title picture of some sort. He's too good, and I think that after-match attack is like I read something on Bleacher Report that was planting the seeds of him turning heel, and I think that's good because he is a good face, but he does his best work as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of baby faces on SmackDown for him to feud with.
Yep.
So he can do that and not really lose momentum. But I think Logan Paul winning either before the Rumble happened and the CM Punk injury or whatever. I think Logan Paul winning was setting up a match between Logan Paul and LA Knight at Mania for the US belt, and LA Knight winning it. But now with the Punk injury, who knows what they have for LA Knight? That was just my so.
I don't know. That's a good point right there. Yeah. I was very disappointed that Logan kept that and how it ended. I was like, come on, man, really?
I somehow knew that was going to happen. Somehow knew Logan wasn't going to get the brass knucks on and hit him with it, but Kevin was going to, and of course it happened at 2.5 when he's about to win it. And I just see the rest.
Look, you wear brass knuckles.
Kevin. I'm like,
come on now. Come on. Yeah.
It was a weak finish, in my opinion. It was.
It tarnished a match that was fantastic.
Yeah, that guy jumping over the barricade, that part of Logan Paul's group or whatever, and it was like they were like confused who should have the knocks and all this stuff, and I was like, "Come on, this is ridiculous." And then, like you said, and Austin Theory coming out, really? That was dumb.
Yeah, him and Waller. That was just weird. It was weird because that match didn't need that. It didn't need that. The match was fine all by itself, and they killed it. Those two were giving you everything, and then they had that ending that was just, he just sat there and watched it like, why? This is so bizarre.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I like that. But,
No, it
but
was,
Bryson, back to your point though, I feel like Kevin Owens is one of those guys that doesn't. Yeah, he should be in the title picture, but he almost doesn't need it.
yeah.
And he's hard to keep heel because if you think about just WrestleMania, he was feuding with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like
Yeah. And
Stone
people
Cold
were
Steve
chanting his
Austin,
name.
dude.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is just so good at what he does. People cheer for him anyway. That's why he ends up a face because they're like, well, we're just going to turn you face because everybody keeps cheering for you, even though you're a jerk, even though you call out Stone Cold and you're just like, everything he does is good, man.
Yeah.
Everything he does is good.
And he's kind of in the Stone Cold Rock, like area. Like he's not really a face or a heel. He's just like there because no matter what, people are going to cheer for him, like you said. So he doesn't really a face or a heel. So I mean, I see that point too.
And you could see him even like a Randy Orton. Like you could just if Randy Orton RKO's his own partner, you're like, I mean, I guess I can't say that I'm surprised because he just
got in his way.
He just walks that line, and that's Kevin Owens is like that. Yeah. So yeah, I that match was great until the end.
A+ match, F- ending.
Well said. Well said.
Huge Pop, any input on that one?
No, I just think that you're right. A+ start to an F+ ending, and you don't need that. And after watching that match, you're exhausted and frustrated about this whole because I'll be honest, up to that point, the Rumble wasn't great, and I was like, what are they going to do to knock it out of the park? Because they got to do something to save it. And I mean, the men's Royal Rumble is what we're going to talk about next. I just don't think it was saved to be. And this is one of the WWE's big events, right? It's supposed to be the event before WrestleMania.
The main start of the road to WrestleMania.
Right. And to me, it was like they were running at full gear in the women's and they hit a flat tire.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, there were some spots in the men's Royal Rumble that were great. But I mean, and we had the winners, which we knew it would be CM Punk and we knew it would be Cody Rhodes at the end. But it was just like they lost. For me to be one of your big events prior going up to WrestleMania, you dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big time. And that's not like Triple H,
Oh,
from the time he's taken over creative control, he's like it's
knocked it out the park.
Yeah, banger after I mean, but like you said, Huge Buck, it's the catalyst for Mania. It's the time, to get your big time superstars. Like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. And besides the women's Rumble, like I said, it was like, like why did I stay up and watch this?
Right. I mean, they did a good job at moving along the Jay and Jimmy Uso rivalry, and there's gonna be that should be a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
That's what they want, and that's leading up to it. That's what they're leading up to. That was cool.
Yeah.
They throw some stories in there a little bit, but Sami Zayn is number 30. That kind of again, the women's number 30 was weak. I thought come on, Sami Zayn.
I honestly, when he came out number 30, I was like, oh shoot, could he get his moment? Could Sammy get his moment? Because he was remember how over he was, and he still is. It came out and his music stopped and everybody kept singing his music and he was in there doing his thing. And I was behind Sammy. I actually was behind Sammy. I'm like, maybe Sammy could do it. And he got eliminated. And I was like, oh, poor Sammy.
But could you, which I like Sami Zayn, but could you imagine the riot that WWE would have if they didn't let, CM Punk or Cody or Gunther or McIntyre win and they let Zayn win? I think that.
Yes and no. Yes and no,
Yeah.
because he was part of that too. He was part of
Yeah.
that, and he like his popularity was he helped get the bloodline over, and he was part of that. Remember, he had that unfinished story with Roman. Roman beat him, but
Yeah.
this could be like him getting another chance. So to me, it wasn't out of the realm of possibility. Just because I like
Yeah.
Sammy, and I think Sammy's
Yeah.
really, really good, really good.
Yeah.
And so when he came out as number 30, I was like, okay. It just wasn't obviously to be. I just usually, Huge Pop, you hit it right on the head. It's like it was speeding along. Your analogy was perfect, and they blew a tire, and then it just was kind of like, because I can remember in years past when you would get to like the final couple people in the Rumble, or even the final four or whatever, you're just like, oh my gosh, and the crowd's on their feet, and
You're on the edge of your seat.
yeah, and you're like,
nobody
oh
in
my
their seats.
gosh. And I just felt like this time it was like everything that was happening, and we got to like the last few people that were in there, people were clapping out of obligation, I guess. And I wasn't on the edge of my seat. I was just like, okay, well, let's see what happens.
Mhm.
And it was like, I don't know, there was something missing. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't checked on his contract or anything. I'm pretty sure he's already re-signed, and I just don't know. But I had very, very wishful thinking that number 30 was going to be MJF. That was just wishful thinking. When that number 30 was counting down, I said, "Here we go, here we go."
That would have saved the men's rumble. That would have been unbelievable. That would have been an unreal pop.
That'd have been the pop of the night. It wouldn't even been close.
Yeah, that would have been a huge pop. No pun intended.
I mean, let's even if Matt Cardona would have showed up, I would have got out my seat. Even if I don't like the guy, but I would have, holy crap.
Yeah, it would have been like a shock.
It would have been. I would have been, oh my god, and that we would be talking about that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we're just like going, okay.
They might be saving Cardona for, like I said, for Sasha, like the Monday after Mania. They might be saving.
Because
maybe
sometimes you do have those big surprises right after WrestleMania.
Because I know it's been a long time, but like when Bobby Lashley came back, like there was no like rumors or speculation, nothing when Lashley came back, and he just showed up one night and he got a monster pop and attacked Elias. So I was like, maybe they're saving him for that. I don't know.
It could be because they didn't have that. I mean, well, what's his name did come back. Why am I drawing a blank?
Andrade.
Rico. Yeah, I was gonna say Rico's in love with him. He's married to Charlotte. I was shocked to see him. That was where I was surprised. I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's back!" So
I was hearing about it, like he was talking about coming back. So I was like, "Man, here we go."
I didn't expect that. I didn't expect it, but the Rumble didn't have enough of that type of stuff. Just to have this person come back and this person come back and this person come back. It was.
And even when you had R-Truth in there, not R-Truth, but what's his name?
Omos.
Numa. That was dumb as fuck. Hell, I'm sorry.
Oh, we're Pat McAfee.
No, Pat McAfee. That was funny. Yeah, whatever. But old boy from the New Day.
Oh, Kofi.
Kofi. He didn't do none of his stuff. He didn't do any of his.
He had no like incredible save.
No.
I was like.
Oh, and you know what? That's my point too. Every year, Kofi would do something, some crazy way of saving himself.
Yes.
In the guys, and Naomi would do it in the ladies.
Yes, and that didn't happen.
Nothing. They were just there.
Yeah, Kofi's been doing it since what? What we talked about last week. Kofi's been doing it since 2005 or something like that.
He's been doing it
Long
17,
I saw
years,
crazy. I saw a crazy stat. Kofi is now number 2 in Rumbles appeared in.
Yeah.
I think they said that. He's behind Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think he's 16.
I think they said that
17.
during the match. He's only behind Kane.
Yeah.
So what we were talking about the women's, and you guys had mentioned like Piper kind of throwing herself over Bronson Reed. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Come
that
on,
was,
man.
Jesus.
That's a messed up spot. I was like, what the
Golly.
hell?
Like you
I
said, let me
guarantee-
help you out, bro.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I guarantee he got a little talking to in the back when he got back.
That
there.
was bad. That was
You made it so
horrible.
obvious. So obvious.
Like, no
It's,
one around him. He threw himself over. Whoopsie.
And switching gears, Braun Breaker might be my favorite superstar.
Braun is good, man. But that was
he
actually
needs-
supposed to be Brock.
But they said that. I read that too. They said that's supposed to be Brock, and like Brock was supposed to be eliminated. Have the same. Could you imagine Dominic Mysterio eliminating Brock Lesnar? Like, no, I don't see that happening. I don't. But I mean, it happened with Braun Breaker, and he's kind of close to Lesnar, but at the same time, he's not anywhere near Lesnar.
No, but no, Braun's good, man. I really like him. Carmelo
Yeah.
Hayes too. That guy,
Yeah.
man.
I
You want
hope
to talk
Trick.
about phenomenal superstar?
Trick. Yeah, Trick. He's amazing. But I'm glad they brought Braun Breaker up. I hope they keep him on the main roster now.
Yes.
Karrion Kross is his involvement in the Rumble, be it short, was pretty cool.
It was good.
So,
It was good.
Yeah, for them to just like get a spear, him get hit with a spear, and they're just like easily eliminated by Lashley, kind of like slowed their group's momentum down in a way. I think.
yeah.
What did you guys notice? Maybe it was just me overlooking it, but not overlooking, paid too much attention. But in the women's and the men's, we know there's mess ups here. There's going to be botches here, there, but there was too many for this main event that there was. Or big
Yes.
event. There was
Absolutely.
too many.
Yeah.
I watched too many times somebody go to throw somebody in, and they had to think about it for a second, like, oh, I need to go to the ropes.
You're right.
Going on here?
You're right.
A lot
You're
of standing around going, where am I going to go next? I'm like,
Yeah. Normally there's a lot more action, and when it's your time to go, and you take the spot that knocks you out. You don't have to like help jump yourself over the rope because you screwed up the spot. Yeah.
Mhm.
right.
And we did you guys kind of know at the end, Cody and CM, that Cody was going to win it? I kind of think we already knew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cody's
Yeah.
got-
I mean,
When
as
it
soon
got-
as it dwindled down to that, I was like, well, here we go. I mean, it's
And
going to be Cody.
And I know when it got down to the final four, I was like, yeah, but it's about to be Cody versus CM Punk, final two. Just
I think I was wishful thinking. I've not kept this a secret. I would rather have Punk over Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes. I mean, I don't know. I think they did Cody Rhodes dirty. They should have ended this story a long time ago. But he got involved in a bunch of other stuff, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
He put a lot of people over. I understand that, and I think
It's a risk because it was a risk. He could have lost he could have lost that momentum and everything, but he's still very much like the crowd is still very much behind him. He still gets he's very over still. So
yes, and
that was a risk.
I think his story's going to end, like I said, at like probably Survivor Series in November.
You think Cody's will?
Yeah, I think he'll win. That's when the story will finish, where he'll become the champ.
You don't think he'll become?
So you really don't think he's gonna? You think it's going to be? You think he's going to fight Seth?
Yes, I honestly do.
I think if he goes against Seth, he'll beat Seth because Seth's going to take time off.
He will, and he will. In my opinion, I don't see. That's the thing. I mean, we all want Cody Rhodes for some reason to beat Roman Reigns to end the story. But what Seth Rollins said last night is facts, 100% facts. That's a paper champion that doesn't show up. You want to fight a paper champion that don't show up, or do you want to fight and represent a belt that is on the roster, on the show every single Monday night? And I think Cody Rhodes would be a great champion, great replacement of Seth Rollins. And then you take that belt, and now you got two now you got 2-belt Cody going into Survivor Series.
Yep. And another thing too, remember when Cody came back and they had their first match of what would be the trifecta? Remember when he came back and Seth Rollins was fighting, the mystery person that was showing up? They stole that. Oh, they stole that show. That was like the best match of the night.
Oh,
and
it was.
every time they fought, it's been unbelievably good. Even when Cody had his torn pec.
And
So I don't doubt that they could do it again.
Why wouldn't you want that at WrestleMania? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. It would be an exciting match. They'd give it to you. Those two they'll do what they did before.
And
they tore the house down.
And they'll do that without a Roman Reigns bloodline interference type bullcrap, because you'll get Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and they'll fight it out. And to me, that'd be a better at this moment. I think it'd be better. And
that's what Seth was saying.
Why can't he win that belt? I don't understand. I don't get it. I wish that we had tons of fans out here. Why couldn't we fans be appreciate the fact that he takes Seth's belt? Why does he have to take Roman? That's the big question. Why does he have to take Roman?
I think it's just because they're pushing someone to take it off of Roman.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, okay, is this going to be the person? Is this going to be the person? Seth isn't. Like, Seth's not. Seth is a fighting champion, and Seth's matches don't suck. They're good.
No,
they are.
I mean, they're good. So it's like, I don't know. I didn't think about that, but the more you say it, the more it makes sense to me. It's, even from a business standpoint, why not have that match on that card? And it will tear the house down. And then you can do whatever you're going to do over here.
That night 2, you got Roman Reigns and The Rock on night 2. That's going to tear the house down too. You know that.
Oh
yeah. So you have that one. Yep. But yeah, so it makes sense.
This Mania, like, it could have a lot of really, match of the year candidates. If WWE doesn't, screw the booking up.
Right, if they do it right. You're exactly right, Bryce.
Yeah.
If they don't screw the pooch.
They don't screw it up.
So like say we do get Cody and Rollins match of the year, Roman Rock match of the year, Jimmy versus Jay, or even Jay versus Gunther for the IC title, and then you get
Jade versus Bianca.
Jade versus Bianca, Bayley versus Io Sky, Ripley versus Lynch.
Yep.
They could go all over the place. Would you say who?
Yeah, Ripley and Nia.
Oh, and Nia, yeah.
And
they have to have Jimmy and Jay. They got to have Jimmy and Jay.
Oh, they have
to fight at Mania.
They might do the Jay and Gunther at the Chamber. They might do that. And then how they could set the Mania matchup is have Jimmy cost Jay.
Right.
Against Gunther.
Yeah.
And then
I'd love to see those two go. Look what they did in the time that they worked against each other at the Rumble. The little bit of time they had before.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, dude, they worked so well together, and they worked so well against each other.
Yeah.
It's just, it was magic.
I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but when they were face to face before they started fighting, they were going back yeet and no yeet. I was like, this is like, it's perfect. Like it's too good. It's too good.
Dude, they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, they're great. They're great. Jimmy kept a straight face. I was proud of him because he usually would just
crack up,
break character all the time, man. I was looking at him too. I'm like, okay, now the camera's close up because Jay does a pretty good job. Sammy would throw him off, but usually Jay would do a good job. And I'm like, okay, Jimmy, let's see if he breaks. But he did a good job. He actually looked
at the eyes. He's like,
the crazy eyes. I'm like,
yeah.
It's a little much there, but
I think that was his way of trying to stay in character so he wouldn't laugh.
Yeah. Because I thought he's gonna break character. I know he is, especially with all that yee.
Well, real quick, we just go over the Monday Night Raw a little bit. I don't know if you guys caught all of it.
I didn't. I only caught the highlights.
Yeah,
I'm behind.
We had mentioned what you call it. Bayley had came out. And Damage Control was out there with her, and she was going to talk about who she was going to challenge. And then Rhea interrupts.
Yep.
Well, as Rhea's coming down, Nia just comes down and beats the crap out of her.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
And so Nia goes up to her, takes the microphone, and she goes, "You can challenge Io. You can challenge any other champion you want, but she's mine."
Or it said that Ripley's not making it to Mania.
Right.
She's not.
That's
Yeah, she's
right,
not
that's
making
right.
it there.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
said that wrong.
No, it's okay. But I think that's just like. I mean, I think they're going to do holding up for Ripley versus Lynch at Mania, but Chamber is in Australia. That's where obviously Ripley's from.
yeah.
I think they'll plant that seed so Ripley can just get like probably the biggest reaction of the night at the Chamber, so they could, because Nia is going to be hated enough for her to get the big reaction, even though Ripley's supposed to be a heel.
Oh, she's supposed to be a heel in the States, and people cheer for her.
Mhm.
I cheer for her all the time, but for other reasons. But anyway,
I think the only time I seen her get out cheered was Zelina. That was just because it was Puerto Rico.
Oh, Puerto Rico, yeah.
yeah,
That's
that
the only
was
time.
awesome. That pay-per-view was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
That
That was off the chain. Dude, how did we skip over Dominic, man? Like when we were talking about the Rumble, we didn't even talk about Dominic coming out. I was excited to see him. That dude is great, man.
He is. I like him a
He's
lot. Man.
great. He's such a slime ball. He just, I don't know. He entertains me, man, when I see him. It just, yeah.
Does he not remind you of a skinnier, smaller version of Ravishing Rick Rude?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
With his kind of his attitude and stuff, and just like
What figure is he holding up?
What is that? Sting? Oh, that's Sting.
Every time you mention Dirty Dom, I'm going to give you a steak. All right.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
I get to meet that guy in June. I paid $150 for a meet and greet to meet Sting. So
Where at?
at River City WrestleCon.
Wait,
that'll be awesome.
Out in Florida?
Yeah, that's in St. Augustine. Yep.
Oh.
I'm gonna take my NWO belt and have him sign my NWO belt. So.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
That would be freaking sweet, man.
But from now on, every time that you mention Dirty Dom, I'm either gonna have a picture of Sting ready to go, or I'm gonna get my Funko Pop.
Or
Okay, go get my Baron Corbin figure.
Oh God! Let's talk about that. Okay, Frico. Let's talk about Dirty Dom instead. All right, I like Dirty Dom.
Instead of Baron Corbin, huh?
I don't know if anybody caught it or not, but when Dom got into the Rumble, Corey Graves, but I think besides McAfee is I think the best announcer. He's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like that it's not PG era anymore. They let him say whatever. But he said, "Man, I hope Dominic got some free time away from the yard to come and be in the Rumble."
Yeah, I heard him say that.
I'm like it's just like I know it's the same old, but it's still like Graves just delivers it perfectly.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
Oh man, and Raw, we had already talked about it. What you call it? CM Punk came out first. Announced he did tear his tricep, and then McIntyre came out and said, "I prayed for that to happen, and it actually came true." And went after him. So obviously, that's going to be a build up.
Well, he's out 6 months, isn't he? 6 to 8.
I believe, yeah. That's why he has to miss WrestleMania.
They say that it happened when they were having their back and forth during the Rumble.
Yeah,
and then I was watching some breakdowns of it on YouTube, and because at first I was like, I don't know if this is just story, if it's just whatever. And then I looked at it and the way he hit and what his arm looked like afterwards. I was like, oh, that actually looks legit. And he did it to himself. I hate to say that, but he tried to catch, put his arm out to soften the impact of that what does he call it? The
Future Shock DDT.
Future Shock DDT. And he put his right arm out, and it's just how he just hit just right. And when he went to push it, just you could see it.
And
So
I've not seen or heard or read or anything about this, but I wonder if before that happened, that Punk was maybe supposed to win that, and then they, after that happened, they told the referee and they, I radioed to the back or whatever, that Punk is actually like legitimately hurt. Like, okay, let's change it to Cody then.
change it on the fly.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's true or
No.
not. I mean, that could just
it
be
could be.
spitballing, but
It's kind of sad though, because you had something cool going between Rollins and Punk. So it is kind of sad because that would have
there was
been
real life hatred there. Like that's actually like outside of WWE, there was real life.
Yeah, and I thought let's go. Let's do it. I thought that would have been sweet. So
like you said, there's always next year, and you don't need a title for that to be a good match.
No, you don't.
No.
That's true. That's true.
Well, we've actually already hit our hour mark there, fellas. We try to keep it on time tonight.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate you guys being on. Huge Pop, Nikki D, Bryson. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you, Huge Pop fans. And we will go ahead and cut it out. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.